Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today we are doing a what if that I've been meaning to do for a long time, but the script had disappeared when the tablet I wrote it on broke, so it's been in the back for a while. But today we're finally going to be exploring my story on if the Ginyu Force had become good. Now this story has been covered a few times on YouTube, but I have my own version completely different from anyone else's. So as always, be sure.
What is going on, my Goheezy? Oh, wait, wrong channel. Sorry, Lytro. Well, if you're wondering who I am, I also edited Lytro's video about Dokkan. Also, if you like what ifs, I make some too. So, if you're willing, how about you go check my channel out, link in the description. And if you like my editing, give a like to the video. Yeah, Lytro, I guess you can have your channel back now.
To join my Discord and follow me on Twitter, links in the description below. So this story, like any other what if, begins with a change. Vegeta doesn't kill Goldo, instead chopping his neck and knocking him out. So when Goku beats everyone, Vegeta doesn't kill them while they're down either. The Ginyu Goku fight still goes the same as well, only when the fight is done and both of them are back in their original bodies, Ginyu goes after Vegeta's body like in canon. However, the now tired of waiting Frieza arrives. He lectures Ginyu for not disposing of these monkeys and earthlings, and that he'd do it himself if he didn't have wishes to grant. He holds out his finger toward the captain, smirking. The Ginyu Force and the Z Fighters look in awe, not believing what was happening, as the Emperor struck Ginyu down with a red beam to the chest. The groups were shocked Frieza would be this cruel to someone who loved serving under him. The Emperor then left, telling the rest of the Ginyu Force, who had just become conscious again, to finish off the Z Fighters and dispose of theirs and Ginyu's bodies. The two groups stared at each other, fearing what would happen next. Krillin and Gohan then ran to Goku, lifting him up. Vegeta quickly told them that there are healing tanks in Frieza's ship. They then prepared to fly away, when Jace called out for them to wait. He stood with Recoome tossed over his arm due to being injured from fighting Vegeta, with Burter holding Ginyu. Jace told them that they'll come with them, and Vegeta initially argued, but Krillin and Gohan cut him off, saying that they need to avoid further conflict or Frieza would come back. The rest reluctantly agree and fly toward Frieza's ship. They put Goku, Recoome, and Ginyu in some healing tanks, and Vegeta begins to take a nap like in canon. Recoome comes out of the tank way earlier than the others because he isn't nearly as injured. Gohan and Krillin tell the Ginyu Force their plans to use the Dragon Balls to bring back their Guardian, but they have other plans. The majority of them want to wish Ginyu and Goku to full health, and Recoome just wants his teeth and hair back. They all unanimously decline Recoome's idea, and agree to just wait until the time is right. They then do a little bit of image training to better their teamwork skills for the big fight, afterward flying off toward the Dragon Balls, with Nail now stalling Frieza. Upon summoning the dragon, they learn that there are 3 wishes, but Krillin and Gohan are thinking for the long run. They want to wish back Piccolo and Chaozu, and then bring Piccolo to Namek so they can have better odds against Frieza, as bringing Goku and Ginyu back might end up going wrong for them if Ginyu tries anything. And Piccolo should have gotten way more powerful than before due to training on King Kai's. They eventually summon the dragon, and Krillin distracts the Ginyu Force by pretending to find Frieza and switch sides, letting him know they betrayed him. They fly after him, and due to his potential unlock, he's stronger and faster than all of them, giving Gohan and Dende enough time to wish Piccolo back and Dynamic, but Guru still dies, stopping them from bringing Chaozu back like in canon. Meanwhile, Ginyu and Goku are telepathically talking to each other and doing image training so Ginyu can learn to sense energy. Vegeta then wakes up and takes on Frieza with the Z Fighters just like in canon, only this time the Ginyu Force are there, helping out where they can. Piccolo fuses with Nail and takes on Frieza's second and third forms, however due to Goldo's time stop, he's able to knock Piccolo out of the way of the death beams. The crew does way better than in canon, but Frieza quickly transforms into his final form, wrecking everyone. The Ginyu Force and Gohan hold off Frieza, while Krillin blasts Vegeta, although this time he gets blasted a little later in order to see Frieza's 2% of his final form, putting it more so at 2.5 million. This means that he actually slightly overpowers Frieza, forcing him to let out 3% of his power. Vegeta gets beaten down, but Goku and Ginyu arrive before he is killed. Vegeta falls to the ground, beaten. Ginyu sees that his men are all dead now, and yells to Frieza, asking how he could do that. Goku tells him to stand back, as he's way too weak to be fighting here. Krillin and Gohan give their energy to Piccolo, and fly off to get Bulma and everyone else to Frieza's ship, because they're going to need it for everyone to escape after this fight. Ginyu flies off with them reluctantly, and due to Frieza being at 3% initially, Goku in his base doesn't do as well as in canon. Goku powers up a Kaioken while Piccolo charges a special beam cannon, and he unleashes his power on Frieza to hold him off. Frieza quickly realizes what's going on, and powers up to 1/4 of his power to knock Piccolo off balance, so Goku has to hit a Kaioken times 20 to intercept his attack, and combo into a Kamehameha, dealing massive damage but draining him. Goku continues to hold him off so Piccolo can charge the attack, constantly stopping Frieza from hitting Piccolo. The Namekian yells that it's ready, but Goku yells back that he needs to hold it longer or it won't do anything. Piccolo argues that if he charges it any longer, Frieza will stop him and waste all of his energy and time. Goku just yells that he has to, and Piccolo continues to charge angrily. Goku gets beaten down, and Piccolo fires the blast, making a hole through Frieza's chest. Goku asks how it was able to hurt him if he didn't charge it longer, and then he sees Vegeta standing up behind Piccolo. Vegeta slowly moves his arms, clearly injured, and does a pose. He then yells surprise, with a familiar voice blaring out. Ginyu then fell to the ground, and Piccolo grabbed Vegeta in Ginyu's body, tossing him into the air so Ginyu can get his body back. He does so, and Vegeta finally dies of his injuries. Turns out Ginyu had actually swapped bodies with Vegeta and given that newfound energy to Piccolo to fully charge the special beam cannon enough to hurt Frieza. However, that's when he returns, kicking Goku aside and charging at Piccolo, beating him down easily. Goku curses himself for not taking the time to charge an attack in case he came back. And that's when Krillin and Gohan arrive. With Gohan being enraged at Piccolo being beaten down, he charges at Frieza, but the attacks are all caught by the Emperor. Gohan's rage would not be enough to win this. Everyone could see that. Krillin and Ginyu lifted Piccolo over their shoulders to set him down away from the fight before joining in themselves. Goku lifts his hands into the air, and the Spirit Bomb goes the same as it did in canon, with it hurting Frieza massively, but eventually he rises back up a final time. He death beams Ginyu and lifts Krillin into the air, saying that all traitors must die. Ginyu dies due to this attack, as he's nowhere near as strong as Piccolo was, and Krillin meets his end as well. Goku then transforms into a Super Saiyan, telling Gohan and Piccolo to get back to the ship, which they do a lot faster because Piccolo is way stronger and faster than Gohan. Gohan argues they shouldn't leave him behind. Piccolo just says that their time to fight is over for now. Eventually, Kami wishes for everyone on Namek to be brought back, and Dende is about to teleport everyone, but Goku and Frieza, off of Namek. However, that's when Ginyu asks Dende to let him and the Ginyu Force stay, as Goku's gonna need a pilot to escape. Dende agrees, and the Ginyu Force fly toward Frieza's ship, stopping it from being caught in the explosion. We cut back to the fight, and Frieza takes Goku's energy only to fire it back at him. Goku blasts back, nearly killing him, and realizes he needs a way off the planet. That's when he sees a ship fly by, and a smile crosses his face. He flies into the ship and asks Ginyu where they're going to land. Ginyu replies that their next mission was on Yardrat, so they're going there. They're barely able to escape Namek's destruction. They arrive on Yardrat, and Goku gets patched up. Afterward, he begins training with the Ginyu Force intensely, so they can get closer to his level. This keeps Goku's power roughly the same as it was after Yardrat, but the Ginyu Force have risen up substantially. I'm gonna list their power levels for the last time on screen. During this time, Goku still learns instant transmission, and so does Burter, because he loves speed. The others don't bother, as they usually travel in a squad, so they just need to grab onto Burter or Goku, and it's basically the same as knowing it themselves. On Earth, Mecha Frieza and King Cold still attack, but Future Trunks arrives, killing them both. Ginyu Force and Goku travel back in Frieza's ship. Goku talks and spars with Trunks, getting the heart medicine and knowledge of the android attack, and everyone begins training over the 3 years, with the Ginyu Force joining Piccolo, Gohan, and Goku for the first 2 years. For the final year, they decide to go off on their own training, as it won't restrict anyone from using their full power. They don't want to feel like a burden. Ginyu thanks them for their help and leaves. Ginyu then tells Jace and Raccoon that they need their own special ability, as now he, Burter, and Goldo each have one in the body change, instant transmission, and time stop. Jace and Raccoon leave the group in search of mentoring to find Yamcha and Ten Shinhan. Raccoon finds Ten Shinhan and Chaozu and learns from them, eventually unlocking the Tri-Beam, as he's more fond of slow, strong attacks such as that. And with Jace, he learns how to use the Wolfang Fist to his advantage. Of course, these moves take a few months to learn and master, and it boosts the three Earthlings up pretty good as well. They report back to the rest of the crew, and Ginyu is very impressed with their progress. They all do their special team pose and return to their training. After the training is done, the majority of the Z fighters are stronger, and Ten Shinhan actually brings Chaozu along because of it. The stronger Yamcha still gets his energy absorbed by 20, and Goku takes on 19, the same as in canon, resulting in 19 absorbing his energy, and Goku succumbing to the heart virus. Chaozu takes Goku to Kame House to give him the medicine, this time however. Vegeta arrives and kills 19, and Piccolo deals with Gero, but Trunks arrives, distracting him enough for Gero to make a getaway. Gero manages to absorb some of Piccolo and Trunks' energy and heads to his lab. When he releases 17, he manages to barely block his kick using all of his new power. He then blasts the lab door and flies out. Keep in mind this was a suppressed 17. The androids want to go after him, but now they have to fight the Z fighters. Speaking of which, Vegeta does a bit better, but in the end he still loses. The androids leave, and Piccolo fuses with Kami. He then investigates why towns are losing people at such an alarming rate. Eventually, he finds the culprits. Yes, culprits. Gero and Cell look at each other as Piccolo watches with his energy low. Cell looks at him, asking if he's really the one who created him. Gero confirms this, and asks how he grew when he should still be incubating, and Cell replies that he isn't from this timeline. Gero is shocked at this, along with his strength, and asks Cell what he plans to do. He responds that he plans to absorb the androids in this timeline to reach a perfect state. Gero compliments this plan and offers for Cell to join him so that they can defeat them together and get him to perfection. Cell thanks him for the offer, but replies that he's more of a lone wolf, before, ironically, unleashing a Wolfang Fist to knock Gero back. Gero gets up and starts fighting back, holding his own quite well, but it's clear he's losing ground. He eventually gets knocked onto said ground and tries absorbing Cell's energy, but Cell holds down his arms and starts absorbing him with his tail. That's when Piccolo steps in, stopping Cell from fully absorbing Gero. Piccolo, with his weights on still, defeats Cell, causing him to use the solar flare and go back into hiding. Piccolo looks over at Gero to find him injured and tosses him over his back, flying to the lookout. Gero eventually gets a Senzu Bean after promising to give up his plans to kill Goku and agreeing to stop Cell, as he's the bigger threat here. Piccolo goes back down to Earth to fight Android 17, which while Piccolo is stronger, he isn't strong enough to beat him before his stamina runs out, so Cell still absorbs 17. He goes after 18 next, but that's when Ten Shinhan and Raccoon fly into the air to use the Tri-Beam. Ten Shinhan's is a Neo Tri-Beam, so obviously it's going to be stronger than Raccoon's, plus his base is still above Raccoon's. But the extra support helps. The two repeatedly fire at Cell, keeping him in the ground, while Jace, Yamcha, and Ginyu prepare to stand their ground for if he gets back up. He does, and Berta grabs Ten Shinhan, Raccoon, and Piccolo, instant transmissioning to the lookout, where Vegeta and Trunks have just emerged. They arrive, and the fight with Cell goes the same, until he reaches his perfect form, where not only Trunks and Krillin rush in, but so do Jace, Yamcha, and Ginyu, unleashing their strongest attacks. Cell easily bodies them all and announces the Cell Games. With this, Goku and Gohan go into the time chamber like in canon, and Bulma, Dr. Brief, and Gero all work on reprogramming 16. This time, keeping the bomb intact so he might be able to stop Cell. When Goku and Gohan leave the chamber, Piccolo goes in alone like in canon, and so does Vegeta. However, afterward, the Ginyu Force decide to go in all together. They know the food is only worth 2 years for 2 people, and with 5, they will only be able to train for 3 months. But they think that's fine, because they have another partner who doesn't need any food, the fully reprogrammed Android 16. Now, 16 won't be getting any strength because he is an android, a complete android, not like the other androids, so he does not grow over time with training. But He is way more powerful than the entire Ginyu Force even put together, so training against him even for only 3 months should do wonders for them. When they emerge, they're stronger than any of the human Z fighters, though they're not on Piccolo's level yet. With that, the humans are inspired to go together as well, and so they do 2 at a time. Tenshinhan and Chaozu, and then Krillin and Yamcha. They manage to last quite a bit of time in there, enough to catch up to the Ginyu Force, although Ginyu himself is still above them. This results in the entirety of the Z fighters being massively stronger upon the Cell games. And that's actually where we're going to leave part 1. What did you guys think of my telling of the Ginyu Force joining the Z fighters so far? Is it better than any of the others you've seen? I'm genuinely curious to see if you guys like the story, and if you do, make sure you like the video and share it with a friend. If it can maybe hit 2,000 views, I'll start working on a second part, so sharing is really important. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed. But as always, like the video if you enjoyed, tell me what you think will happen next, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.